Damon, what we're going to do here in the interest of getting the 2024 yearlings and comparing them to some of our 2025 crop, we've picked 3 of the yearlings that we think have quite nice parallels with some of these yearlings of 2025. So we're almost putting them in head-to-head battles, and we're going to try and take you back to the sales of 2024 and the sales of 2025. You've got your books here, which is perfect. And so you've got your notes written down. As you can see behind us on the screen, you've got King Kirk, who's Ole Kirk out of Oxford Angel. He is parading on our left. And then you've got the Too Darn Hot out of Awake the Stars Colt parading on our right. Why we felt like these were nice comparisons is both of them sort of strike us as colt, potential stallions, strong movers. They're both really physical in the way they walk. So what was it about Ole Kirk, Oxford Angel, or King Kirk that struck your heart at the sales?
Well, I always thought Ole Kirk was one of the best credentialed first season sires to be offered that year. He was one of the best credentialed racehorses, being a dual Group 1 winner. And so we were always really keen on acquiring one of his progeny. So this boy came up early in the sale, lot 18, coming off a very good farm in Widden Stud, out of a winning Nakoni mare. And when he walked out of the box, he was just a real athlete. He's had great muscle, great hind quarter, good girth, a little short coupled, which means they're probably a little earlier, and just a nice attitude and good walk, which I just wrote athlete.
And you look at him and what you're talking about, athlete, and then when you compare it to the Too Darn Hot Awake the Stars Colt, we see a similar free-flowing, uses his body well, athletic type in his walk as well, right?
Absolutely. If you have a look at his physical conformation, he's got a great hindquarter, that Too Darn Hot Colt, and really good depth of girth down there. Very powerful animal and a very good shape about him, which the Ole Kirk, King Kirk was as well. He had a good shape. And one thing I loved about the Too Darn Hot, he's typical of the breed. Too Darn Hot himself is a medium-sized, powerful, great hindquarter, great girth individual, and he's to type. And that's very important because Too Darn Hot's proving himself to be an elite stallion with his statistics, and this colt's a very similar shape to him and a very similar shape to King Kirk.
And that's really interesting because both of them are also from great stallions. At the time when we bought King Kirk, Ole Kirk was yet to be proven, but since he's exploded onto the scene. So you've got one who's by a really strong stallion, early 2-year-old in Ole Kirk, and another one who's by a really strong stallion in Too Darn Hot.
Well, Too Darn Hot is a proven stallion now. His stats are elite. Like I said, he's batting off about 7.5% stakes winners to runners, which is elite. Last season in Australia, he had 10 individual stakes winners, which is outstanding. You know, think broadsiding, Too Darn Discreet, Arabian Summer, Rivellino, outstanding horses.
Yeah, and they do also kick on to be great 3-year-olds as well, as
Absolutely.
We've seen with broadsiding, and we've got a few of ourselves. Charcoals has only gotten better, and a couple more, Bold Strike. So then when you look at the farms that they've both been brought up on, there's some good synergies there. They're both really well-respected farms in Widden and Yulong.
Well, absolutely. Yulong have shown they can breed an outstanding horse, think Treasure the Moment, and Widden have been around for many generations and are one of the leading studs in this country.
How do you feel about the stable comparison now? One of them went to the King and Queen of the Golden Slipper, and another one's gone to the King of the Blue Diamonds. So both early 2-year-olds. I don't know if anyone's won too many more Blue Diamonds than Anthony and Sam Freedman. And also, obviously, King Kirk went to Gay Waterhouse.
Absolutely. I think you've picked ideal trainers for both of them. Gay and Adrian proved themselves with King Kirk, and Anthony and Sam, outstanding trainers. He couldn't be in better hands, that colt.
Speed genes for both horses are the exact same as well, Damon, which is fascinating. They both come up as CC long, which we generally see as a 1,200 to 1,600 metre horse.
I'm big on the speed gene, Ben. I really believe in it. I think it's great data to have. Very good to pass on to the trainers so they know what distance range to target the horses to. And I think the fact that they're both CC long is ideal. And unfortunately, King Kirk, with what happened to him, he would have been a perfect 1,600 metre horse, and the Too Darn Hot looks the same as well.
So we've already spoken about King Kirk after he won his Breeders' Plate. He was revalued to 1.5 mil and increased his value there. we don't love to get ahead of ourselves, but you know, you buy these good colts from Magic Millions and you just hope they've got stallion potential. I remember back when we were talking to you long around the sales, one thing that they mentioned is they were keen to retain 50% because they see this guy as also possibly being a stallion of theirs for the future.
Absolutely, that's what their business is all about. They want to make stallions, so they identified this colt as one they didn't want to sell completely, which is great confidence to me for the buyers out there and for us. So they believe this horse has stallion potential, and with his pedigree, he's by too darn hot out of a Redute's Choice mare. If he performs on the racetrack, the sky's the limit.
So Damon, as we wrap this segment up of King Kirk and the Too Darn Hot Colt, just in a summary form, why are there some nice similarities between these two when you were buying them at the sales?
Well, I think as I'm looking at them on the screen there, I think the shape of them, the hindquarter of them, the walk of them, the good deep girth, and you know, I remember them both at the sale with good attitudes, and to me a good attitude is extremely important in a racehorse.